Today on Judge Faith, it seemed like a straightforward car sale.
We're gonna do 2 payments. One for $500 at the beginning and another $500 like 2 weeks later.
But sometimes things just aren't what they seem.
And I see the police by the car. He's like, this car is illegal, and they impounded it.
The agreement was when you paid the other $500, she would transfer the title to you.
And later,
a fight is ensuing. Vicious attack on Sasha. Pebble's head started to shake, and I realized that's sort of a death kill.
Person's agent, Addie, refused medical care 3 times. I offered to take Sasha, not out of guilt, but because I'm an animal lover.
Tell me about the leash law in Dallas, Texas.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Latoya Boyd is suing a man who she says still owes money on the car he purchased from her. She is accompanied in court today by her cousin, Brenina Boyd. Defendant Felix Wynn says the plaintiff is not the registered owner, and she had no right to sell the car.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Boyd versus Wynn.
Thank you, Barbara. Latoya Boyd,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant, Felix Wynn,
Yes.
for $500.
That's
The
correct.
amount you say he owes you on a car that he purchased and failed to finish paying for.
That's correct.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened here?
Well, I was selling a 98 Crown Victoria, and I put a sign in my window, and Felix happened to see it.
A sign in the car window?
Yeah, and he expressed interest in buying the car, but I don't know him personally. I just know him through family and through my cousin. So I was
Is this your cousin?
Yes, ma'am, that's my
Okay.
cousin. I was really going off of, her opinion of him. I asked her, did she think I should sell him to him? Because we're gonna do 2 payments. One for $500 at the beginning and another $500 like 2 weeks later, and with the title. And she asked, I asked her, you think I should do it? You trust him? She said, yeah.
Well, because were you going to give him the car and let him take possession of the car before paying the entire
final
amount?
Yeah.
Okay, and why would you do that?
I really needed the money. I just moved into a brand new house,
Okay.
and the bills and expenses were a little different.
Okay.
So I really needed the money, and I trust her opinion. She said that she thought he was good for it.
Did you sign something?
Absolutely,
May
yes.
I see it, please? It's a huge risk when you have someone paying notes to you. If you're going to do that and someone is going to pay notes to you, you keep possession of the car until they pay for it. So I do see an agreement between the two of you, and you admit that you did sign this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you agreed to pay 2 payments of $500. You paid the first payment of $500 and took possession of the car.
Yes.
And the agreement was when you paid the second payment, it looks like 3 weeks later,
Never, 3 weeks, never.
well, the agreement was that he was supposed to pay the second payment in 3 weeks.
That's correct.
Okay, and then you would transfer the title over to him.
With the final payment, yeah.
So he's driving the car, and it's still in your name or your cousin's
It's
name.
in my cousin's name, but I bought the car from her years ago.
Okay, but it's still in her name.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
he's driving the car, and it's not in his name.
Right.
Okay, so what happened? Why didn't you pay the other $500?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna give a little history of it. I saw the car in my grandmother's building. It wasn't nice. It was just a car that I can get around in because I'm a referee. So I would use the car to travel back and forth in Bloomington. So when I saw it, I said, well, I think I'll get the car. I asked her grandmother about it. She
And
said,
what do you think you're getting when you pay $1,000 for a car?
Exactly what I got, a raggedy car.
Okay.
Okay, so then I got the car. I paid her the $500. We agreed that I would pay the remaining balance about 2 weeks later. When I got the keys, the remote didn't work on the car. So I said, maybe the remote is not working. So I went and got a battery.
I told him
But you
that
bought the
didn't
car
work.
as
No, you
is.
didn't tell me.
I told
she
him
did not
that
tell
didn't
me.
work.
No, she did. No, she did.
Like the little unlock button. He
No,
asked
she did
and I
not tell me
told
that
him.
at all.
What else?
Okay, so then once I got the car, the raggedy car, to Bloomington, I had it for about a week.
So it made it to Bloomington.
Yeah, with 2-hour drive. And then at the gas tank, I didn't even know it was empty or not, because that didn't work either. So I wasn't going to
He's
eat a whole
lying.
ride.
He's a
It
whole
was
next
eat a whole
issue.
ride
He lying,
down. I'm just
Judge
driving
Faye.
on E.
Your life
Whatever.
is a lie.
What your life a lie? What you talking about? Yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with the car.
His existence is a lie.
My existence is a lie. Her existence is a lie.
He's a habitual liar, Judge Faith.
No, I'm not. So anyway, once I got it to Bloomington, about a week later, I'm coming out my apartment.
So you've had it for how long at this point?
So I had it a week. I'm coming out to the car, finna go to the gym, because I'm a referee, like I said. And I see the police by the car. So I'm like...
Just standing by the car?
He was scanning all the cars.
The car is parked?
Car's parked.
And he's just out there standing next to your car?
He's right there next to the raggedy car. Let's put it in perspective. So I'm coming out, I'm saying, why is he by this raggedy car? So I'm looking.
That car was Black Beauty. I called her Black Beauty.
Black
that was a
garbage.
beautiful
Stop.
car.
Anyway.
Listen, tell me the rest.
Thank you. So then I'm getting in. He said, this your car? I was like, yes, it's my car. You know what I mean? He said the tint was on the window. He said, that's illegal tint on the window. I was like, well, okay, so what else? So he's like, give me some paperwork on the car. So I go in the glove compartment to get some paperwork, and that's when I learned that it was not LaToya's car, it was Renina's car. He's like, well...
Renina, the car's in your name?
Yeah, the car's
Correct.
in my name.
Come on
He's
up.
lying. He didn't tell me that's how I got taken. He didn't tell me that's how I got taken.
Whatever. So then I saved in Renina's name, and he said, well, the tags on this car is expired. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, this car is illegal, and they impounded it. So once they impounded it, I called her immediately.
So that's the reason why they impounded the car?
Right.
May I see the tow paperwork, please?
I don't have none of that. It wasn't my car.
No, it was your car, actually.
No, it wasn't.
Thank you.
Yes, it was.
How? My car didn't have no
purchased the
paperwork
car.
on none of the
I'm
car.
going to tell you why. First of all, I want to see the reason why you say the car was impounded, because they say it's another reason. So I want to see the tow paperwork where the police officer wrote the reason why he towed the car.
Exactly.
That will go to the
Where
owner.
is
I'm
it?
not the owner.
Coming up on Judge Faith, complications ensue.
She has no reason to lie. She has no reason to come into court and lie.
He is a liar. This was never my
Now
man.
I'm lying.
Bad breakup. Back up from what?
And later,
This man picked up my dog by her harness and hit my dog in her rib cage.
Okay, and why are you suing
forcefully-
them for emotional distress for
For
what he
emotional
did?
distress, because I believe they're the ones who set that up.
plaintiff LaToya Boyd is suing her cousin's friend for the remaining amount on a car purchase. Defendant Felix Wynn says the car was impounded and he can't get it out.
Why was the car towed? Do you know? You called the tow station?
I
Okay.
did. I called. First, we talked to the police. The police said that he didn't want to tell us because it was taken because he had cannabis in the car.
Possession of cannabis.
Cannabis
That's why
is
they
weed.
took it.
Weed in the car.
That's not even true.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I have no reason to lie.
Yes, it is.
She lying too. She got it a lie.
I have no. I'm not.
Well,
with
show her the
anything.
tow paperwork.
How do you,
name,
Renina,
so-
how do you know him?
Well, we went out and saw each other occasionally.
Like a
3 times.
while ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't
so
a
the
while
two of you
ago.
dated.
Wasn't a
when
while
was
ago.
it?
It was during the time I had the car and up until recently.
Okay, so she
It
has
was
no.
not
She
a
has
lie.
no.
Just hold on, excuse me.
Wait, so she has no reason to lie. She has no reason to come into court and
We had a
lie.
bad breakup.
There was no bad breakup. This was
Y'all
never
went
my-
together.
Hold
bad
on.
breakup.
This hold on.
That's
excuse
why
me.
she got out here lying for.
This was never my man.
That's
I got a whole
exactly
man
why
at
she here
home.
lying for.
I got a whole man at home. He is a liar. This was never my
Now
man.
I'm lying.
Bad breakup. Back up from what?
From the...
He has a whole lot.
He lied.
He has a whole lot. Bad breakup from what?
So my issue is, so you called and they told you that was the reason, right?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever try to go get the car out of impound?
I told them that they needed to get the car out in the pound. She said they won't
Why
come
didn't
down.
you go get the car out of impound?
It's not in my name. I can't get the car.
Yes, you can. Let me tell you something. You obviously didn't try or didn't
I did
read or
try.
didn't follow up because you have this paper right here. It's called a bill of sale for a car. And so you take this down. If you have this paper and you have it within 30 days on the date of this paper, you take this down there with you with proof of registration, and that's how you get the car out of impound.
Yeah, but-
you have proof of ownership.
But, Your Honor,
And
if I-
now the other issue is you made an agreement that you would pay the other $500. It doesn't matter if the car was impounded. Because you say in your answer, I don't feel like I should have to pay because the car was towed and it was impounded and so I can't drive it. And I think that's what's really going on here.
If I take that thing down with that little paperwork we had, if I take that down there, they're not gonna give it to me because it's not in her name.
Sir, the agreement was when you paid the other $500, she would transfer the title to you.
Now, you know what? Let me say this, Your Honor.
No, you're interrupting me and I'm not finished.
Go ahead, finish.
I don't need your permission to speak
right.
in my own courtroom,
All right.
just so you know. Okay? As long as she can provide you with a valid title, and if that means she has to get her cousin to sign off on it, as long as she provides you with a valid title at the time specified in this agreement, which is when you pay the other $500, she has not breached the contract. Were you going to sign the title over?
And I have the title so he can sign it too.
There you go.
Yes.
It's his.
I called him several times. I called him several times.
Now, what is it that you wanted to say?
What
is it that you wanted to tell me?
It wasn't her car to sell, and I didn't know her car to happen.
And I just explained to you why that statement is irrelevant. You're not married.
No.
Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
10.
You have 10 kids?
10-piece spicy. And it ain't nice. It's 10.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
39.
You're ducking and dodging your responsibility.
I'm not ducking and dodging.
Yes, you are. You know what? Now I see why the two of you broke up.
We was never, hold on,
Because
we was never together.
He's a piece of work.
Never.
You owe her $500. Judgment for the plaintiff, $500. Pay her for the car.
Plaintiff Kirsten Owens says her neighbor's dog attacked hers and is suing for $973 for vet bills and lost wages. She is accompanied in court today by Addie Perez. Defendant Stacy Nelson says the plaintiff's dog started it and is countersuing for $5,000 for emotional distress.
Kirsten Owen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
You
Your
are
Honor.
suing the defendant, Stacy Nelson, for $973?
Yes, Your Honor.
For time off work and vet bills. You say that her dog injured your dog?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
For emotional distress?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll start with you. You have a witness with you today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and who are you?
Good afternoon, Addie Perez.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Miss Owen. How do you know the defendant?
Stacy and I are neighbors at the same condominium complex.
Okay.
We've been neighbors for about a year.
Going to the date in question, you say that the defendant's dog attacked and injured your dog. Were you there when this happened?
I was not there. I was
Okay.
at work.
Who was there to witness
Addie
it?
was there. She
Okay.
walks my dogs if I'm at work, and if she's at work, I will walk her dogs.
Okay, so let me hear from you, Addie. What happened?
Yes, on that afternoon, I picked her dog, Sasha, up, was walking her dog. I had my two dogs on a leash, put Sasha on a leash as well. We walked out of Kirsten's complex.
And what
Take
kind of
over-
dog is she?
She's a Chihuahua.
Okay.
And I was walking her, got to the corner, and Stacy came out with her dog. She came out, her door was open, her dog darted out.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
Okay, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chanzer, which is a mixture of a mini Schnauzer and a Bichon Frise.
Your dog did run out of the door, right?
Actually, Addie was at my door with the dogs in front of my apartment. The leashes are long. Her dogs come to my door to sniff and pebble sniff, and my dog normally plays with her dogs.
Do we have pictures of these dogs? Let me take a look at them. Okay, whose dog is this?
That is my dog, Sasha.
And that is my baby Pebbles.
All right, cute. All right, so how far away from the door were you when this incident happened?
Approximately as close as you and I are.
Okay.
And her dog ran out without a leash on, sniffed around a little bit. The next thing I know, a fight is ensuing. Vicious attack on Sasha. I simply tried to grab Pebbles' mouth to pry her jaws from Sasha. Pebbles' head started to shake, and I realized that's sort of a death kill. So I reached around Pebbles' mouth, and when I tried to pry her jaws open, I sort of lifted her as well, and I realized Sasha was lifting up too. She had such a stronghold on Sasha.
So did you manage to eventually get Pebbles off of
yes, it
Sasha?
was-
How did you do that? You just pried them apart?
Yes.
Next on Judge Faith.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a writer.
Your Honor, I understood she was a paralegal.
Did you tell them that you were a paralegal and that you'd see them in court?
I told them that.
Okay, so you're not a paralegal?
I'm something like a paralegal. I do my own research.
Plaintiff Kirsten Owen is suing her neighbor for vet bills and lost wages after a dog attack. Defendant Stacy Nelson says the dogs always play, so she owes nothing.
What were the injuries to your dog?
She had over 13 stitches. She had lots of bruising right here in her chest area. After
Do you have
the-
video of the injuries?
Yes,
May I see
do.
that, please? What are we looking at?
This is Sasha. You can see the bruising on her front. On the top, there are 7 stitches. There are sutures on each side of her neck and underneath her neck caused by Pebbles' attack on her.
Okay.
And also, Your Honor,
Miss Nelson, what was Pebbles doing not on a leash?
Your Honor, allow me to tell you the truth.
Okay, but my question is, what was Pebbles doing not on the leash?
She came out of the apartment to play with Max and Nicholas. Those are Addie's 2 dachshund dogs. I believe they are dachshunds anyhow. That's what normally happens. Those 3 dogs have played without leashes right on the condo's grounds several times.
Okay, but their dogs were on a leash.
Yes.
Yours were not. Why is your dog not on a leash?
She's never had to be on a leash to play with her 2 dogs. They are
Okay.
her friends.
You stated in your answer that Sasha is not a friendly dog.
No, Pebbles is friends with Max and Nicholas, Addie's
They're
2
all
dogs, but
3
not.
together. You say
Sasha
Sasha is
was
not a
far
friendly
back.
dog. Let me finish. All of these dogs are together. She's walking all 3 dogs on a leash. You don't contest that, correct?
I do actually. Not all 3 were at my front door. It was
Ma'am,
just
you
correct.
say in your answer, Sasha is not a friendly dog. Why would you let your dog go out, not on a leash, over to where her dogs are?
My dog didn't go over to their dogs. Her dogs were at my door. The Chihuahua was never at my door, just the 2 dachshunds. So the Chihuahua, Sasha, ran up on Pebbles while Pebbles was sniffing butt and being friendly with the other 2 pups.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a writer.
Your Honor, I understood she was a paralegal.
Did you tell them that you were a paralegal and that you'd see them in court?
I told them that.
Okay, so you're not a paralegal?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so why would you tell them that you were?
They were at my door trying to accuse my dog of being vicious and trying to make Pebbles out to be evil. I'm something like a paralegal. I do my own research.
Okay, so great. Tell me about the leash law in Dallas, Texas, and what that says.
Well, on the grounds, there is a sign that says dogs must be leashed. Other than that, when the police officer...
Other than that, that's really it. That's what this case is about. Dogs must be leashed.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
If everything you told me factually is true, then you are responsible for the vet bills.
Your
if
Honor,
everything
I
you
offered
told me is
medical
true.
attention, and Kirsten's agent, Addie, refused medical care 3 times. I offered to take Sasha, not out of guilt, but because I'm an animal lover. I offered to take that dog to Banfield, which is PetSmart's hospital, and she refused 3 times.
That's not your decision.
Okay,
if
she
your
can
dog
make the
was
decision,
injured,
but I offered it at that very time
if
on
your
the
dog
scene.
was injured, I don't understand your thinking about this.
Okay.
Okay, if your dog is injured, do you not, as its owner, have a right to take your dog where you want to get treated?
You do.
Right?
However, right at the scene when the dogs were broken up, I offered to take Sasha to get medical care. Addie delayed that for hours.
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
What's your counterclaim about?
My counterclaim involves a gentleman who happened to be in front of my home recently. He had the 2 dachshunds right in front of my house. I
Addie's
came
dogs?
outside, Max and Nicholas. I came outside, Pebbles, we're leashed, we're getting ready to walk. They smell each other again like before. The tangles became
You're countersuing for emotional distress.
Yes, the leashes became entangled. This man picked up my dog by her harness and hit my dog in her rib cage.
Okay, and why are you suing
forcefully-
them for emotional distress for
For
what he
emotional
did?
distress because I believe they're the ones who set that up.
Okay, your counterclaim is dismissed, ma'am. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. You owe her $973 in vet bills and court costs. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.